Here in front of me is the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition. I have had exactly 24 hours with it. Here's what I've learned so far. Welcome back to SamMobile TV. You're here with Daniel. I was lucky enough to get a Z Fold Special Edition. I was actually able to get it from another YouTuber called Average Dad, who actually runs his own tech store. You can actually get the Z Fold Special Edition from his store and he will ship it to you wherever you are. Because of course, this is only available in Korea. He also has the W25, which is the China version of the same phone. There's a link in the description. We've also got a special code set up, so make sure you use that down below. So what have I learned? A lot, actually. The design of the Special Edition is just that. Special. It is striking the moment you take it out of the very premium box that it comes in. It is one of the most premium unboxings that I've had since the original Galaxy Fold from 2019. Fundamentally, it doesn't change too much about the foldable experience. Phone when closed, tablet when open. But what the SE does is change how Samsung make foldables. The wider cover display is noticeable in the hand, but it's almost offset by the fact that it's thinner. So whilst it's definitely wider to reach across, the thinness of the design when it's closed actually means that it's not taking up as much hand real estate. When closed, it is basically the closest to a normal smartphone that Samsung have made. 6.5 inches, 21:9 aspect ratio. This is basically a normal smartphone on the front. There was actually a few times that when I was holding the Fold that I thought it was the S24 Ultra. A little bit embarrassing for myself, but I genuinely just thought I was looking at a normal flagship slab smartphone. And it also felt like holding one too. And because of how normal it feels, there's so many times where I've actually been inclined to not open it, where I've just used the cover display and not had the urge to actually open it up to the bigger inner display, because the cover display here just looks so normal. Like it just functions and feels like a normal smartphone. I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. I will need more time to determine that, but it's just how I felt in the first 24 hours. When it is open, this thing is huge. Not in an oversized way, just in a, yeah, it's a big mini tablet sort of way. You can definitely tell it's a lot squarer compared to the Z Fold 6 in terms of its sort of open feel about it. Let's open up Twitter and get a look at that. Like, it does kind of just feel like a very big version of the Z Fold 6 though. You've got a lot more screen room though, that's for sure. The big design changes I've noticed on the inside are that you've got the under display camera, which is not under display, as you can see when consuming media, is on show right in the corner there, which is really odd because Samsung haven't really actually gone to the effort of putting a different camera in there. It's the same one as the Fold 6. So making it always on show, I don't get. But whilst that's one distraction, the other one that isn't a distraction is the crease. The crease on the Z Fold SE is non-existent, as you can see down there. And even when you sort of bring light into it, you might be able to see like some, I guess, remnants of a crease, but I can tell you, you don't feel it. Like there is next to nothing that is in there that will distract you as far as creases go. And you definitely, when you compare it to the Fold 6, it's a no comparison. But using the inner display when it's open is also a little bit different than what it is on the Fold 6. I really like the YouTube experience. When you've got a video playing on YouTube, let's bring one of our videos up here. You can actually see sort of how much room it takes up and stretches across the top half of that display when open in portrait view. And then obviously you can scroll other videos down the bottom. But I really like this view because it's actually quite oversized and you get really more real estate for the video than what you would on a normal smartphone, but also in flex mode. So if I pop the phone down, like this space across here actually is giving me more screen real estate compared to what I would normally have with the Z Fold 6, because this is a normal smartphone ratio across the top. So it's displaying it like a normal smartphone would. This helps a lot with multitasking. So if I want to now bring in a couple of apps and sort of have them side by side, this app will be a normal 21:9 aspect ratio, and so will this. So fair enough. There's obviously going to be some allowance for the bezels of the inside display. But the idea is that you've got two apps side by side that are operating in a normal smartphone way, which is great. Overall, the phone just feels different to the Fold 6. I really liked the rib back. Like, it gives it this really nice sort of grippy sort of feel when it's in the hand, but it's just got a different feel to it. And that obviously is down to the fact that it is a lot thinner and a lot bigger than the Z Fold 6. The other design aspect on the back that I've noticed is this camera bump. It's massive. Like, that thing is huge. But when you have it flat down on a table, it is very, very rocky. See it from this angle here, how much of a gap there is under there. And that's what's going to make it rock when it's flat on a table. Definitely be aware of that if you plan on buying it. But the reason why the camera bump is so big is because it has new camera hardware. This main camera has now been updated to a 200 megapixel main camera, up from the 50 on the Fold 6. But also the ultra wide has got an update. Not a lot of people are reporting this. Samsung have put in focus enhancer into the phone. Let's take a bit of a look at how it works. I've got a lollipop here on the table. So when I launch the camera and I get close to something, you'll see this here is focus enhancer. That now switches to the ultra wide of the same crop as the main camera. It actually allows me to get in really nice and close and capture macro shots. I can of course switch directly to the ultra wide and even going closer and get that sort of macro. And when I bring in the Fold 6 to sort of do a bit of a quick comparison, the Fold 6 doesn't have focus enhancer. So I'll take the photo there and then I'll try ultra wide and do the same thing. And it just doesn't have, as you can see there, the same level of detail. So Samsung have kind of snuck that in there. And what that means is that the ultra wide camera has dual pixel autofocus, which is massive. It's too early to tell yet about the output and if there's any drastic sort of changes to processing. So I'll save that for our camera comparison, which is coming. So hit subscribe for that. Performance wise, we all know about the Galaxy 8 Gen 3 for Galaxy. It's in the Z Fold 6 and it's in here as well. So there's little to no need to do a lot of performance testing and sort of go through a lot of stuff. As far as battery is concerned, I have had this, like I said, for a day, and what you'll be able to see is the battery stats of that 24 hours. I did charge it, I think, last night, so it's currently at 27% learning usage patterns, so you should never really go off this. It's not a good barometer. Stopped charging 15 hours 40 minutes ago. Screen on time almost 4 hours, screen off time 11 hours 50 minutes. So look, some of you might say that's not great, but it is not optimized yet for my usage, so stick around for the full review to see that. The specs are the same outside of 16 gigabytes of RAM. This also only comes in a 512 gigabytes of storage, which I'm okay with that. I've got 256 on my Fold 6, so this should be a nice jump. So in my 24 hours as well, the lack of S Pen support has definitely not gone unnoticed. I have fully felt it, and not because I use the S Pen every day, I don't. But the fact that the Fold 6 supports the S Pen and this doesn't, I carry S Pens, so to not have the option to use it just means you might get caught short. It's not the end of the world. Like 99.9% of phones don't support S Pen, but when you get used to it, it does get missed. Overall, I like this a lot. This has certainly very quickly become my favorite foldable Samsung have made. It obviously is not complete yet. This very easily, though, could have been the Fold 6. I think the only reason why it probably wasn't is that Samsung, on a global scale, didn't want to have to make compromises on the foldable experience, especially what their version of a foldable experience was. Samsung still believed the narrow form factor to be the right one, They also still believe in offering S Pen support, but they obviously were ready to put this out in some capacity and see how it went. If you want to grab a Fold SE, be sure to use that link, like I said, down in the description. Thanks to Average Dad for sending this out to me. Hit subscribe to SamMobile TV, dive a bit deeper into camera comparison and our full review of this in the coming weeks. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.